Shout out to US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there. Cheers.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world. Because I do 2 shows in one day. Crazy, right? Episode 693. Trap Talk with Rob. Not from Kinova. Well, he is. I mean, come on. He's always going to be from Kinova family. But Island Morphs. Okay? Lots to talk about tonight with my man Rob. One of the nicest guys in the industry, for sure. I love Rob. I'm so curious about his next step into the world, into the industry. All right, so you guys are in for a treat. This is your first time tapping in. What is good? I'm your boy MJ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're liking what you're hearing. If you're learning anything from this, God bless you, man. Hit that subscribe button for your boy, all right? And then hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every podcast released out of the network 7 days a week. The only reptile network in the game, in the world, that is every day of the week. So thank you to all the other hosts. Amazing. People who just bring amazing content to all you guys, and I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for all the other amazing hosts, a part of the Trap Talk Network. So guys, just to remind you guys, you can listen to all these episodes on all major audio platforms: Apple Podcast, Buzzsprout, Google Play, iHeartRadio, all of them. So wherever you listen to any of these episodes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you if this is your second episode of the day, second live. If you're wondering where that episode went that I just had, that's going to be available for Patreon, okay? So if you're going to want more exclusive content like that, and if you want to get more behind the scenes and what my plans are for the network and wait lists for all my other cool projects that I have going on, chondros and whatnot, then come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Don't waste any time. Come join the Patreon family, because not only will you get access to all that exclusive stuff, you get tapped into the Discord, and there's an amazing Instagram group chat. I got trappers from all over the world. God bless all my trappers. Patreon members, thank you so much for all your support. 6 years running with my Patreon family. I love you guys. And again, another group of people, I don't know where I would be at without them. So thank you so much to my Patreon members. Let's get to tonight's sponsors. Shout out to people in the chat. So I'll get to you guys right now in a second. But I want to say shout out to tonight sponsors. One of them being Brian Susan over at Sundown Reptiles. If you want to get into next level, untapped reptile projects, this is your guy right here, okay? Kahuas, gargoyle geckos, abronia, the tree monitors, all species he works with. I think the only thing he hasn't bred yet are the blacks, last time I remembered. But man, if you're looking to get to any of those species and see other really cool stuff, come check out Brian Susan, Sundown Reptiles. He was just at Tinley. It was cool to see his spread. One of my favorite tables to be at any show that he's at, for sure. So thank you so much, Brian Susan over at Sundown Reptiles. Find the link to his website in the description below and check him out on IG. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Rare Genetic Inc. If you got a ball python shed, colubrid shed, this is your team right here to go through. Tearing those sheds in with the best. Ben, Dr. Ben, and Sean over at RGI, Rare Genetic Inc. Subscribe on YouTube, and please follow them on Instagram. Good to see Dr. Ben at Tinley. It was a fun time. Did you have fun at Tinley? Let me know how your Tinley went. Drop a comment in the comment section below. But thank you so much, RGI, for everything that you do. And then last but not least, shout out to Clutch, #1 ball python organization app in the game. Highly recommend if you are just coming into the ball python game, stay organized, stay cutting edge, and work with the team who's doing the best, and that's Clutch, all right? Please check them out. Go to their website, find all the links in the description below. Try them free for 30 days, man. I love the color-coded. Next level. And yeah, man, shout out to everyone in the chats. Whoever's here tonight, thank you so much. Again, you guys are some real ones. My boy Derek Stacks, who's actually working there at Kinova now. Good friend of mine, part of the Patreon family, and a trapper. So thank you so much, Derek, for being here tonight. Definitely got some words to say about you for sure later on when the homie Rob comes through. But my homie Big Mike, my very first Patreon member ever, 1776 Exotics, who has 2 chondros going his way next week. Oh, God bless. That's going to be amazing. Shout out to you, Big Mike. Thank you so much. The homie Lucid Arboreals, Marcus from Sweden, one of my global trappers in the building. My homegirl Amanda in the building. What's up, Amanda? Thank you for being here. And her husband Eric, both from PJ's Creations. Trap Talk Patreon members. We have Fairy Tale Exotics. What's up, Fairy Tale Exotics? Big E Top G every Monday nights. My boy don't miss. Please come check him out. Villarino Reptiles. Subscribe to his Instagram if you want to learn. And also, if you want to consider being next tier in the ball python game, you want to learn how to move correctly, like this game called chess, Villarino Reptiles on Patreon. Don't sleep on that. I'm telling you right now. You can thank me later. Revision Reptiles, my homie Tony. Good to see Tony at Tinley. Hope you had a good Tinley, buddy. Marley, what's up, Marley? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member. Thanks for joining the family. Emily, what's up, Emily? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate it. Shout out to the homie Jordan, Heartland Reptiles. And yeah, again, I don't take this lightly when I say Rob's one of the most nicest people I've ever met into the hobby. Had the pleasure of meeting Rob a few years back when he was at Reach Out Reptiles. And, you know, it takes a special person to work with big snakes. Okay. It really does. And what I mean by that, like, yeah, you could, I'm not saying it's hard to keep up a big snake or two. I think, you know, you can get to a point where it's manageable keeping a couple big snakes, but to keep them at a certain capacity where there's multiple, you got to be bred a certain way. You got to have a love for them. And it's not, you could portray everything you want on Instagram to say that you love big animals, right? But then there's some people you just know, like, holy shit, like this dude is really tapped into it. And that's Rob. We're going to learn about that from Rob. And of course, my camera's glitching right now. So let me just fix this and keep talking about how much I love Rob, because Rob is great. And I really think Rob's going to bring some light to the retic market, because I have some, not concerns, but I'm going to tell him what made me want to just fucking say, fuck it. I'd rather not be a part of this, because it's just diluted with so much shit, you know? And so I'm a guy that wants facts. If I'm going to invest into something, I want to make sure it's the right thing I invested in, and it's the right thing I want to work with for the long term. And so, yeah, we're going to get to it. You guys are in for a treat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. So you guys are amazing. Hit that like button because it's that time, okay? Episode 693 coming at you. Rob from Island Morphs. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do to get your mind right, and do what you got to do to stay hydrated. Episode 693 coming at you. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
And we're live, episode 693. Welcome back, Rob.
Thank you for having me, man. Always much love, brother. Love what you do.
Thanks, dude. It's our third podcast, I think.
Is it? Wow. I love it.
But a lot has happened since our last podcast. A lot.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I cut my hair.
Yeah. Wait. You've been bald. What do you?
Oh yeah, that's right. I've been growing it.
You did lose a lot of weight though.
I did, thank you. And
Yeah,
so did you. You look great, man. I told you that at Tinley, and I mean it. You look good.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And listen, I definitely mean everything I said during sound check, dude. You're just such a warm and kind person to be around. And you know, your love for the snakes, man. You can't take that away from someone who has that. And you know, we talked. I remember the first time we met at Garrett's. We talked about like your past with the snakes and to the point where you're now in Georgia, right? With all your animals. You initially went to Georgia to work with Justin, which let's kind of get to that. What's it been like working for Justin, being at that facility? I got to ask you.
Oh man, second to none. What a great guy. I mean, you know him. He just is
Awesome.
One of the top guys I know. I mean, in every aspect. The guy just makes me want to be a better person. You know what I mean? Like you alluded to, I come down here. I've been down here for 2 years now working for him, and lost 50 pounds. Physically, I feel the best I've felt in probably 20, 30 years.
Awesome.
Mental clarity, just, you know, was given a chance to be able to work on myself a little bit more and just kind of fine tune who I really am and be the best version of me, man. And he really helped me do that. Kinova changed my world, changed my life for the better.
Right.
Can't thank those guys enough, man.
And let's eliminate the reptiles out of the equation. Would that even be possible if it wasn't for reptiles?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'd still be a piece of shit.
I didn't mean that. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you would even know him or meet him, you know what I mean? Or like the connection, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you and I. We would have never met if it wasn't for reptiles. There's no way in hell, you know?
No. Just about everybody who I'm really close with is somehow tied into reptiles. You know, with us moving away, it's easier to say that because we moved away from a lot of friends and family. But yeah, man, the reptile community, you know, I love it so much. I feel like I've grown in the community. I feel like, you know, I owe the community a huge debt that I just, no matter what I do, I'll never be able to pay it back.
Yeah.
You know, when this is something you absolutely love and you can't see yourself without it, boy, man, you just cherish every moment of it. You cherish the people in it, like yourself and everybody at Kinova and everybody I met throughout my whole career in the reptiles. Just super thankful. And, you know, I just hope that I hope I can give back a small portion of what I feel like I've received.
How many years now would you say you've been keeping reptiles a part of the hobby? It's safe. Like, what year would this be for you, Rob?
Without doing the math, I know I'm over 30. I want to say I'm like 33, 34 years.
That's a long time, my man.
33 years, yeah.
Right. And, you know, just to think of the amount of people you have met throughout the 30 years, good and bad, right? Like, we're humans. Like, you're not going to meet everyone that you are on the same page with. You're not going to meet everyone who took care of you, right? We all know that. But goddamn, we're talking 30 plus years, and here you are getting to see what it was like to work with Justin. And dude, not a lot of people get to. Here's the thing that's happening right now, mainly in the ball python community, is like the ones who didn't succeed or get to the expectations they thought. They're looking at the damper side, like, oh, like I'm not making any money. And there's other people who are just kind of nagging on things. But I'm like, hold on, man. Like, if you love the animals, that's great. But dude, the people you'll still meet throughout this, you know, like that's what's going to change your life. Is the people, bro. And like, here you are 30 years deep and you have a friendship with Justin Kabelka, the #1 fucking front face guy for the ball python game. You know what I mean?
I know. It's like I have to pinch myself every time I think about it. I can remember years ago just watching his videos, and you know, I built a rat rack just like his with those multicolored cat litter tubs, man. Like he's an iconic face in the industry, and you know, everything that you see, you know, he really is that guy. He's just that nice of a guy. He's always thinking about other people. He's constantly putting other people ahead of himself. I could not say enough good things about Justin.
Yeah.
He has changed my life in so many ways. It would be hard for me to say all of those ways without you know, shedding a tear right now, so I'm not going to.
No, honestly, it's just I just think I think the Lord that I was able just to be inspired to be around someone like Justin, because when I go visit with you guys, or when I go there and visit, dude, I take back so much just by being with Justin for those couple days. Like a 2 days with Justin, and I'm coming back so inspired, and like I can't even tell you what it is, but just being around him makes you want to, like you said, you want to find out how to be the best version of yourself, because it's inspiring to see everything he's done, you know, like for his family. Look at his compound, bro. Like, holy shit. Like, to walk into that facility like it's normal, like, bro, what the fuck? The lunch.
I know, man. I know.
But anyways, I just think at the end of the day, if you weren't a good-hearted person, I don't think you would be at Kinova. I believe in karma. I really do. And I think the way this reptile world works, you do good by this and it rewards you, and the stars will align. And I think you and Kinova were meant to align for a reason, because as much as you're not a ball python guy, you went there to learn. You know, you got a lot of management skills being there at Kinova, which inspired you to do that next chapter, which we're going to get into right now, because, you know, if anyone doesn't know, like, your passion when it comes to reptiles, like your bread and butter is what species of snake, Rob, for the record?
So my passion is the bigger snakes. I love the dwarf and the super dwarf reticulated pythons, man. You know, you cut me and I'll bleed out little SDs. Like, it's ingrained in me, man. I can't get away from it. I've tried a couple of times, but it's never worked. I always come back.
Yeah.
I've reached that point where I'm going to embrace it, man. I'm going to do me as best as I possibly can, and you know, show the world a retic that they've never seen before, you know?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, this is a hobby where you'll find something that is meant for you like that. Like, you'll find a connection with a certain species where you're like, I need to have this species and learn everything about it and obsess over it. Because if you are going to keep something that's a living being of any sort, you should be obsessively wanting to do best by it, and make sure that, you know, if you have goals, like, what are your plans for it, which again, we're going to get into right now with all your goals behind these animals. But I mean, with the bigger snakes, I mean, that's a love from the beginning, right? Like, was that your first introductory when keeping snakes as an adult, were bigger snakes from the get-go?
So my first big snake was actually a berm. I love berms, man. Unfortunately, Georgia can't do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday we can start to rectify that. But, you know, for right now, you know, just the retics. And I'm happy with that, because the retics is really where my passion lies. I've had retics since I was 16, 17 years old. Just been breeding and keeping them off and on throughout my life. There's a couple of brief periods where I didn't have snakes, but it's very brief. This last year prior, when I first moved down here, it drove me nuts. I was lucky enough to be able to go to Kinova and play with all their snakes and have fun with that. But man, I missed mine. Like you wouldn't believe. So now that they're back down here and everybody seems acclimated, I'm just excited for what's coming, man. I've been palpating all my females like it's going out of style.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. So we're gonna kind of talk about where things are in the market, right? Like everything in the reptile world has some sort of a different effect when it comes to the market, right? You know, some things are selling better than others, but then you also have certain areas where, like, noticeably the market's fucking down, you know? Retics, you don't see a lot of people really fucking promoting that they're working with retics, and I don't know, like, obviously that's something that I feel like, you know, like the back of your hand, but like methodically when it comes to like breeding these animals and knowing how many you can get, how do you feel about like having to find homes for all these once it comes down to it? Like, what's your game plan when it comes to like finding the right people, not having to wholesale, like just not having to put such an overhead over your head to where you're fucking not making it happen, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a real good question. You know, and I want to say that that's probably some of the things that working on myself and trying to be the best version of me gave me a lot of clarity in that. And I'm more of the kind of guy that I'm going to have a abundance mindset instead of a scarcity. You know, if you would go to like Warren Buffett, who's a financial genius, right? Owns the stock market, man. Guy just knows everything about it. He'll tell you, you buy when it's slow and you sell when it's hot. Right now we're slow and everybody's a little scared and like, oh, what's going to happen? Man, this is the time you should be buying. You want to hit that upswing at the right time. You buy right now and you get your base stuff and you start growing it up and getting it ready to breed, because in a couple of years, we're gonna go skyrocketing again. That's just the way the industry's been going. I've seen it happen several times in my career in it, and this is just where we're at. Sometimes there's a little bit of a lull, but man, when it comes back real hard, and that's what I'm excited for, man. I'm looking at it like the stock market: buy when it's low and sell when it's hot.
And primarily, like, obviously, there's certain areas in the retic world that are hotter than the others, and that's kind of being the locality specific smaller retics, right?
Absolutely.
But let's kind of talk about where that went at one point, because I can't blame nobody but myself. I bought certain animals that were labeled super dwarf for whatever, and then actually once I got older, or not older, but more like into the game and getting more better guidance, I found out that wasn't really super dwarf stuff that I bought and whatever, but it also just kind of came to be more like muddied and like not watered down, but like just not like, I feel like I wasn't selling something I knew what I had. Like and it was unfortunate because, I waited years to breed them and they're beautiful, but I can't tell somebody a snake's going to get under 8 feet when it's probably not, like, and the thing is, like, technically I got sold the snake that way. I should be able to sell it the same way, but that's not really being legit and honest to somebody. Like, and there's a huge difference between a 6-foot snake and even an 8-foot snake. That 2 feet right there, like, it's a huge difference in a retic, I feel like. But like, where are you at, man? Like, with how you want to take things to like the point I just said, to going into 2026, like kind of tightening it up. Like, what's your game plan with that?
So, just like myself, Island Morph stands for 100% honesty all the time and 100% transparency. I'm not trying to pull the blanket over anybody's eyes. I'm not trying to tell them stuff for whatever reason to make a sale or anything like that. I represent the snakes for what they are. And you either have that passion or that love for it and want to get involved, or you don't. And, a quick phone call or a couple of text messages back and forth, and we can find that out pretty quick. A lot of people don't want a snake that can bite you or probably will bite you. These things it's a matter of time. It's
True.
just the nature of the beast. It comes with it. You want to go buy that, the F-150 or whatever. Well, it comes with certain things. It sits a little bit higher than a car. It drives a little bit different. It's the same thing with the snakes. You want a certain snake. It comes with some pros and cons. And I'm not the type of person to skirt around that or sugarcoat it in any way. It is what it is. They make you bleed. They get a little bit bigger than everything else. It is what it is. I don't think that we're at the point right now where we can tell this snake is going to get X feet long. I think it's all pretty much a guess. I mean, if you look at the way that it actually breaks down, and let me know if I'm rambling too much, man.
No, I'm listening. No, trust me. I know this is great. Keep going.
All right. Sometimes I go on a little rant. And I don't.
Oh, you're good. I want to rant on this. You're good.
All right. So here's my rant. So, like, let's just say you take a mainland and a pure SD, and it doesn't matter what locality. It doesn't matter whatever. It could be a mix of 6 different localities or 2 different localities, whatever. A pure SD and a mainland. You breed those together. It's not like it splits it 50-50. Every snake gets 50% SD and 50% mainland. That's not the way that works.
Yeah.
The world is a lot messier.
Yeah.
Genetics are a lot more difficult than that, right? You could have some snakes that come out that will have 75% SD and 25% mainland. And then the reverse of that, you have some snakes that are 25% SD and 75% mainland. So those ranges are going to vary on that first clutch, right? If you're looking at it, that the SD to the mainland, that first clutch, they're going to vary. That second clutch, you take an offspring from that and you breed it back to the SD, you're still going to have a little bit of variance, because unless you specifically raise all of those babies up and you pick the smallest out of that clutch, and breed that back to the SD, then you kind of know you're getting there, right? But
Yeah.
it just takes time. It takes generations. I also believe that there's the better way to do it is to take that mainland, breed it into some dwarfs, get some of that crazy dwarf locality. Some of these dwarf localities that are out there that not a lot of people have, or not a lot of people have heard of, mainly the Halmahera.
Yeah,
Two different.
that's my favorite.
Oh, that Halma's.
Yeah. What's the one with an S? Slayer.
Slayer's a great one too. Yeah, Slayer's a good one. You get
You're right.
Some of the fills, you get the Mindanao, and then I know I'm going to mess this up, but this is me. Bull, I think is the way you pronounce it, and Ternate.
Ternate, yeah.
Amazing stuff those things do, man.
Yeah. And those are you should treat those like how like incomplete dominants are treated into recessives in the ball python game, you know, because when you have that stuff going into pure locality stuff, well, I don't want to say pure, but like, locality specific stuff, it shows a whole difference in the animal. And throughout time is what I want to get to next, Rob, is because like you said, if you're purposely picking out the smallest ones, or if your holdbacks are turning out to be not as big as, as the others or whatever, if you just know you got the smaller of the bunch and it's healthy and it's great, throughout time, the more you keep doing that, you will be able to like identify what will be a lot smaller than the rest as you keep generationally breed back and back and back, right? Like, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that yourself.
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. And that's why, like, when you're going to purchase a snake like this, you want to purchase something from somebody who's reputable, somebody who's been around for a little bit. Maybe me, maybe not. Either way, I'd be happy to help anybody, direct them in the right way. I refer people to other businesses all the time. If I don't have the right snake or I don't have the right fit for you, I'm not afraid to say, hey, go to this guy or go to that guy or whatever. But yeah, absolutely. The more you breed them, the more you see those kind of things, along with like what you were alluding to there, that locality influence. You take like the Halmahera. Let's just use that as an example. The Halmahera is a dwarf. It's considered a dwarf. Its range is in that 7 to 14-ish feet. Some will get a little bit bigger, some will stay a little bit smaller, but that's kind of the range. I hate to say a range, but if I have to, that's what I'll say. And they're not having huge clutches, man. Those females that are 12, 13 feet, they're not spitting out 40 eggs. They're spitting out a heck of a lot less, half or even less than that. And that should tell you something as a breeder. That's longevity, man. That's what you want in a snake. You want it to add all of this flair and not be able to produce these huge, ginormous clutches where, some of the things you're trying to shoot for, triple recessive and quad recessive, 164th chance of getting it, with the big clutches, it's easy to get those odds. With smaller clutches, that are more closer to like a ball python size clutch or a big size colubrid, or even a little bit bigger than those, right? That's when it kind of gives you longevity in those projects. You know what I mean? And so again, if you're just going mainland to super dwarf, you're getting big clutches. Those 50%ers are going to have big clutches. You take that mainland morph and you run that into one of these dwarves, the Ternate, the Halmahera, the Phils, whatever. You run it into them, you're getting a slender snake. It's not getting a big body. It's a slender snake. And it's not going to have those huge clutches and oversaturate the market and, put a lot of, I hate to say junk, but a lot of stuff that isn't going to be good for the hobby,
Right. Because this isn't a type of animal to flood the market. Like this is going to be something that it's aimed for specific keepers. Like I said, like you got to have a certain kind of vibe with you to work with a snake like this. And this isn't a cookie cutter snake. No matter how you look at it, when it comes to feeding this thing, you're going to see the beast in this fucking snake. Some of them have attitudes, man. Like, say what you want, but you can never fully fucking docile tame a snake, a retic, I feel like. I mean, you get one that tolerates things, don't get me wrong, but if you have a good, healthy, active snake, that thing's always going to be alert, and it's always going to be on top of shit. And so, but I like something that makes you respect it in a sense. Like, that's, And it's, you know, I have that kind of personality, you know what I mean? And I think that's what you should be like. Those type of people are meant for such a snake like this, because again, when you sell snake, Rob, you want that person to come to you in 20 years and be like, I fucking still got that snake I got from you, and I love it. It's my favorite snake, and it's a long-term animal. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't view any of these reptiles as like disposable.
No.
It's a life, man.
Right.
You got to cherish that life and do the best you can for that life. You know, that's our responsibility as humans, and being able to keep these things. It's our responsibility to make sure that they're well taken care of and given everything that they need. I've said it ever since I started in this community. You know, if you just watch your animal, it'll tell you exactly what it wants.
Yeah.
You just have to be in tuned and care enough to watch that animal and understand what it's asking for. And that, what a relationship, man. I mean, you've had it with some animals. You just,
oh man,
it's untouchable. You know, it's just a bond that you get. You know,
I've said this multiple times. I had over 16 species I was working with at one point, right? And you know, there's some I just, God bless, I never want to see you again. Like, you know, it was fun, but holy shit, you gotta understand, which you do understand. But when you know, having a collection so close to home or a part of your home, you can walk in and out anytime you want. And I just remember at nighttime walking in sometimes, and when I had 13 fucking retics all in cages, like just like almost like I couldn't believe I had these fucking animals. They were just so impressive. And then if we talk about daytime taking them out and just like, holy shit, man, if retics got the same size of ball pythons, they would smoke ball pythons. Like they would fucking like, and if you got rid of their aggression a little bit too. But I'm just saying, like, it would fucking, the coloration you get in a retic, man, it's second to none. Like it's the most vibrant, like, you know, the orange glow shit and all that stuff. Like, you know, Shane, you know, the homie Shane from SC Constrictors.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Shane. I haven't seen him in a long time. So I'm at Tinley, but you know, stuff like that where you're just like, you almost want to eat it. It looks so yummy. You know what I mean? But anyways, dude, yeah. What I was saying? What I wanted to get back to here, Rob, is like, you know, with somebody who is going to be taking on a lot of responsibility, and what I mean by that is like I feel like where you're going to be presenting and what you'll have for people, you're gonna have a lot of people fucking on your bumper wanting this stuff. But yeah, I think so, man, because I think, like I said, certain things are just meant for this hobby, and I think for you to pursue this is great. I mean, I don't think you'd be leaving Kinova if you didn't have a good feeling about it. You know what I mean?
It's a dream job. I wouldn't leave it if I didn't have to, man. But that calling is so loud, crisp in my ear that I just can't help it.
So let's paint a scenario here, okay? Let's pretend I'm inquiring one of your snakes, and you know what's the funny thing is, which I'm sure you'll see, is you'll have somebody come out of nowhere willing to spend some money. You know what I mean? And you know, and I hope that happens to you a lot. But I'm just saying, you know, sometimes you're always wondering, like, well, what the fuck's your experience? Like, where'd you come from? Like, you know, and I'm curious, if I were to come to you and ask you, Rob, you know, about a snake, and I'm ready to buy it, and then I ask you, like, well, what should I put it in? I have no fucking, like, let's say I buy 4 retics from you, you know, and I'm like, and you ask me, you know, what my experience is, or well, I don't have any caging for them yet. But I want these snakes. What, you know, what would you say to them? Like, what's the piece of advice you give to somebody who is bought into wanting to keep the species, but have no clue what to keep it in, don't know what to expect? You know, how do you lay that out to them?
So my first question is, have you ever had a snake before? I don't want this to be your first snake. I would rather it be your second, third, fourth, fifth. Can
you say that one more time again, Rob? What you just said?
I don't want it to be your first snake.
Dude, this is why I love you. That's such a fucking honest thing to say, Rob. Like that. This is why I wish I could fucking hug you right now, buddy.
I'll hug you right now, brother.
Yeah, dude, I'm just saying. But what a fucking like look big homie thing to say to people. Continue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it just goes back to what I said, man. 100% honesty, transparency. I'm not trying to be crazy at this. I wanted to make sure that this is a good fit. So if you're telling me you've never had a snake before, I'm gonna say go get some experience, man. Call me in a couple years. Call me in a year. Go get a corn snake. Go get a ball python. Ball pythons are great. If you're gonna get a ball python, I suggest Kinova. They do a lot of good things over there. So go get one from there, and then come see me in a year. Come see me in 6 months. Go get your first bite.
Yeah, get bit.
Yeah, get bit by a small snake. Second thing, man, is a big red flag. You say you don't have caging for it? Nah, man, that's we're thoughtful here. We think things through. We plan it. We do our due diligence in the beginning. We educate ourselves. We try to get as much good information as possible. We have conversations. How many snakes you want? You want 4 snakes? What's your caging? What kind of caging, in a year from now when they get a little bit bigger, what are you going to have them in? Have a game plan. I also like to ask people, what's your 1-year goal? What's your 5-year goal? What's your 10-year goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you just a casual breeder? Are you just a keeper? Are you just a fan? Are you going all out? Are you investing $50,000 and you want to be the next big thing? What can I do to help you? That's my main question. What can I do to help you? That's all I'm here for. I want to help as many people as possible. You can go out and check out my website, islandmorphs.com, where I do consultations. I don't know anybody else in the industry that'll do that. I'll come out to your place and I'll tell you exactly what I know. I'll show you how to palpate. I'll show you what to look for. We'll implement certain systems to try to give you the best success, whatever, whenever, wherever. If I can help, I'm helping.
Where do first-time keepers sometimes go wrong? You would say, like, what's kind of the almost expected mistake somebody can make when keeping a retic that you would say?
I would say it's that Christmas morning kind of thing, man, where you get a little bit of money in your pocket and you're like, you know what? I want to impress my friends. I want to show off. I want this big snake. And they go out and people sell them to them all the time without a lot of talks before, not understanding the species. And, that just always, in my opinion, ends horribly for the customer. They have bad experience with the snake. They have high expectations, not realistic expectations. They end up getting bit. The snake gets injured. There's just a whole slew of things that go wrong there. And that's something I want to avoid as much as possible. If we're going to have any kind of longevity in this industry, the retics already have a shady name with being big and bitey and cage aggressive and whatnot. The last thing we need to do as a community is putting more out there in people's hands who don't know what they're doing. I want to make sure that it's a good fit. I want to make sure it's a permanent fit as much as possible. I can't follow everybody around that I sell a snake to, but I want to make sure that you're doing right by the snake. I want to make sure that you're enjoying it. And I want to help you in every way. I don't want it to be you bought a snake from me? See you later. Who are you? Let's have talks, man. I just got on Instagram. This is all pretty new, just starting to roll out. And I did my first live on Instagram the other day. I want to do a lot more of that. I want to get some YouTube stuff next. I just want to put as much good quality, honest content out there as I possibly can and develop that real good, solid community of let's talk. I do not think I know it all. I've been around, I've seen some things, but I'm sure everybody else has too. And let's all come together and try to do the best that we can for this species, man. That's all I'm about.
What's your position currently with Justin? Like, have you fully left yet? Are you completely now just solely solo, or has that not happened yet? Where are you at?
So I'm taking a little bit of a step back. Derek's a great guy, by the way. Absolutely.
Derek. Yeah. Good man. Good man.
He's going places, man. When you spend a little bit of time with somebody and you can see that they're honestly trying to absorb as much information and do the best that they can, it just makes your job so much easier when you're training somebody like that.
Yeah.
And he's just like a dry sponge in a bunch of water. He's sucking up as much as he can. And absolutely love the skills that he's developing. I think he's going to go pretty far in the industry. And I'm just kind of letting it naturally, organically grow on my end and be there for whatever Justin needs. With Chase getting ready to welcome his first it was Tinley wasn't a good idea for him. So
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I was happy and
I was right at the cusp because my wife's due in like 4 weeks, and so but I was lucky enough to be like I barely was able to leave for 2 days, and I came back with a frown looking face. So but now she's happy now, so we're all good. But Chase, congratulations. If he's not yet, has he had it yet or not yet?
To my knowledge, he has not yet.
Okay, we're rooting for you, praying for you, Chase. Hope you have a safe delivery on your new baby. First time, it's his first baby, right?
First baby, yeah.
Yeah, what a feeling.
Oh man, I remember my first. I was in high school.
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
But yeah,
a couple of grandkids now.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. But kind of going back to what you were saying, though. I don't know. Do you think? Well, I don't know. What do you think kind of went wrong? A couple years back. I think it all. Okay, you know what happened? I think once that Samson shit went down, and then it was like a fucking goddamn fire started after, because everyone started getting tried exposed after that, right? But
yeah,
I feel like there was already some turmoil happening in the Retic world. Like I already felt like it was already like destined to, like that was like kind of the cherry on top of like all the shit that would always go down. And I'm curious, like why is the Retic world, like the Facebook shit, like why is it so like such a toxic place? You would say, like, well, what's the deal? You would say with all that, Rob?
I would say, in some scenarios, how people say that, you look like your dog or you act like your dog or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing with the snake, man.
Yeah.
You got to be a little
careful.
You got to be a little okay with getting bit to have these things. You got to be a little different to own a snake like this, right?
100%. I agree.
And sometimes that complements the person that you are, sometimes it doesn't. And I think that in any industry, you see those things, and the best thing you can do is just learn from them and keep moving on. When it comes to that stuff, I don't really pay attention to it. Whether I'm in it, someone brings me in it, or I'm not in it, I don't care. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know what my morals and values are. If you don't line up with my morals and values, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not going to bash anybody. I'm not going to be negative about anything. It's just not the person I am. I want to help people. I want to work together. I want to find out the truth about these things. There's not a lot of scientific evidence on any of it. Why not? It's 2024. Let's go, guys. Let's find out what the exact things there are to know about these species, man. Let's put in the hours.
It's 2025, by the way.
Oh man.
I'm like, holy shit, Rob, where are you living at right now? What fucking are you doing right now, dude?
Man, I get closer to my 50s. I don't know.
You're like, dude, it's 2023. We're gonna live it up, all right?
I'm over here partying like it's 1999, man.
Fucking spring break 97. Fucking yeah. Yeah. No, you're right, man. Like somebody has to pick the torch back up for this shit. I mean, and that's why when I found out what your plan was as far as doing this, I'm like, good, man, because somebody needs to bring the excitement back into keeping such a fucking awesome snake. And I feel like if the super dwarf stuff, locality specific stuff could get really honed down, and because dude, I've seen, shout out to Eric Lee, man, but I've been to that guy's house more than a handful of times, and I've seen some of the tiniest fucking snakes I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's what I like. I was like, okay, this is how you fuck. If you say you got super dwarf shit, this is what it looks like. Like, but I also knew like that's what I did not have that shit. And I knew that I could get to where Eric's at, but it's going to take me fucking 10, 12, 13 fucking years, which and that's why I feel like the true market of the super dwarf deserves its value, because when you really have that high percentage shit, close to 100% shit, dude, it's the most impressive shit I've ever seen. To see a retic that small, it's nuts.
You look at Eric Lee's collection, some of the stuff he has low percentage, but man, I tell you what, it's smaller than some of the 75 and 85%
crazy
out there.
It's impressive.
And that's that just genetically, just breeding generation after generation after generation. And, it almost, if I say it, everybody's gonna be like Rob said, that the percentages don't matter. they do matter, but you know, you have to keep in mind, like I said, it's not a 50-50 split. It never is.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference. You do want to do your due diligence and figuring out exactly who you're buying from and what their lineage is and how traceable all of this is. One of the things I see a lot of, and it just kind of makes me smile, is the old school label. And it's like, you know, I know old school was, in my mind, was stuff that Garrick DeMeyer imported years and years and years ago. And it was labeled as old school because back then they didn't really have a lot of description to the snakes when we imported them. They were just like, yeah, I grabbed it from that island over there, I think.
Okay, shout to Vin Russo. Just had dinner with Vin at Tinley. He whipped out a photo. I think it was 97 or 98, but I think it was a Kalatoa. It was 100% Kalatoa. He had it next to a dollar bill. It was smaller than the fucking dollar bill, dude. Or the size of the dollar bill, and it was an adult. It was an adult female.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. He's like, when I was working with super dwarfs, that's what they used to look like. You know what I mean? And again, Eric's been in the game for a long time. You know, I feel like he is one of the few dudes who did get his hands on some of this real super dwarf shit and just had generationally kept breeding it to where all his animals are small because they had that real blood going on and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My pure Kalatoa female is maybe 6 feet, pop can or smaller diameter.
See, that's mean,
she's
bro.
like 2, so she's really fresh blood, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to look for those kind of things. You know, if you just run out and grab the first thing you see that says, you know, pure SD, you know, you also get what you pay for. You're paying $1,500 for that. Well, you're going to get a $1,500 pure SD snake.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it goes. And I think that goes with anything in life. You know, if you want to go cheap, you can. You're not necessarily going to get that top of the line stuff, though.
Guess where I bought my first super dwarf at?
It wasn't me.
No, fuck no. Yeah, I'd probably still have it if that was the case. Triple L, dude. Good old Triple L. Fucking it was and at that time, there was no fucking Super Dwarf Golden Child. This is a Golden Child, okay, mind you, okay.
Oh,
and
man.
it said Super Dwarf Golden Child on it, and it was $350.
$350. Yeah, brother.
I bought that thing so quick, dude. No questions asked. Every post I'm putting Super Dwarf, and people are like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Fuck you! I know what I bought." It says it on the label, and people are like, as I keep posting, they're like, "Dude, you do not. That's not a Super Dwarf Golden Child. That's not even around yet." Or like. People were just starting to like, you know, trying to correct me. And back then there was no correcting MJ. I was a mess back then. Like I was really bad. Until I became friends with somebody who was actually tapped into the game, who told me like, bro, like he told me how to look for super dwarf stuff and what it really looks like. And then he told me this was 2018 or something, how like, no, dude, there's no pure golden child super dwarfs out there. No, not even. And even if there was, it wouldn't be pure. And so, yeah, dude, a lot of learning lessons for me, man.
Yeah.
Again, like it's kind of it is a part of the growth of what you like. You're gonna learn no matter what you do, but you just the retics. It's not something you don't want to get ahead of yourself with. Like it's because you could get way more than you ask for sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You could go in it thinking that you're gonna get a snake. You know, I had a customer reach out to me just not too long ago. He said, "I want something that's gonna stay under 13 feet," and it's like, well. There are a lot of things out there that'll stay under 13 feet.
Yeah.
Most likely what you're looking for, though, is something that has a lot of pure blood in it. Pure SD blood. You know, dwarves, in my opinion, you know, they're not small. You know, a 14-foot snake is big. Under 13 is tough, man. You just got to get a lot of SD in that. You know, good bloodline. Know where that line's coming from, man.
Yeah.
Know who's getting it, where it came from, who imported it if you can. F1, F2, F3, F4. Ask all the right questions. And that's one of the reasons why I think that just there needs to be some more information out there.
Right.
You know, I think that there's some information out there right now. There's some good information. There's some not so good information. Make your own opinion on that as you want. I just feel like I need to put a lot more out there than what's out there.
Like I said, somebody needs to pick the torch on guidance and everything else, man. That is, that I don't want to say it's not out there anymore, but it's more behind the scenes. Like no one out there publicly wants to save the retic world, man. And it's kind of like, well, I gotta say, to this day, it's one of those animals I miss having. I wish I did have one, at least one that I could go admire and look at, because
we can talk after.
Yeah. Dude, but I'm just saying, like, again, nothing has impressed me more than seeing how the super dwarfs could take everything. And I was really bought in. I was really bought in at one point, but also I was not well educated on, what a real 50% super dwarf could produce, dude. My last clutch, 42 eggs. Holy shit. What the fuck was that? Like 42 eggs. That's a lot. One female, 42 eggs. Luckily it was a split clutch with Eric Lee, but
yeah,
dude, wow. Talk about
42 eggs.
It's a lot. And then I think the clutch before that was 30 something. I did I'm pretty sure it was 2 split pairings I did with Eric Lee, and then her first clutch, and that's that female I sent you pictures of, the one that proved at Behat Annery, the platinum girl.
Yeah.
First clutch was 22 eggs, went 22, 32, 42.
Yeah, man, that's close to like mainland stuff, man.
Yeah, it was insane.
I read mainlands, typically your first clutch, depending on the snake, right?
Yeah.
Whoever knows, if anybody knows who Karma is, Karma was a big platinum that I had that now Garrett has at Reach Out Reptiles. That snake, I think when I talked to him last, he said she's 22 feet now, over 200 pounds.
Wow.
That snake is all mainland and just some real big mainland bloodline, right? Her first time I ever bred her, she was, I want to say she was 4 years old, and it was a project between me and another guy who's no longer in the hobby. And she had, I want to say she laid 52 eggs, her first clutch, 52, 54 eggs. And usually a mainland, their first clutch, it's in the 20s, maybe the 30s. So like I knew right away that's a big snake, man.
Yeah.
The last time I bred her, I want to say she produced 72 eggs. Yeah, just massive snake. But yeah, 20, 30, 40 eggs, that's mainland stuff, man. That's big.
I will say though, man, I think especially on the last clutch I had with Eric, which was about 2 years ago now, or even the one before that, I had people reach out to me giving me updates on the babies that I've sold them, and man, they're staying pretty fucking small. Like they surprisingly are a lot smaller than you would expect them to be at 3 years old. You know what I mean? Which was cool to see too, because I remember picking out the ones that I wanted to hold back, which I held back for about a year, and just saw some of the holdbacks stay a lot smaller than others, and I'm feeding them exactly the same, not feeding them any different. And so, again, that's so interesting. Like, it's like the percentage matters, but it doesn't without some sort of test, like without some sort of like proof that the percentage of that snake, it doesn't matter, like, because you can't prove it, and so it's like just kind of go off what you're seeing and how it's raised. It's either going to get raised big, or it's either going to raise smaller, or in between. Like you'll find out with time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but what do you think of testing in the future of? Because I heard there's something in the works, a new shed test company that wants to look into getting sheds done on the percentages of super dwarfs and shit, and finding out the truth of percentages with babies in these clutches. How game changer do you think that would be?
I think it's huge, man. And I think that I definitely want to be a part of that. I personally will be sending lots of sheds to any and all people who want them. I know exactly what I have, and I think that's a good way to start with that kind of a thing. You have to really trust the people that you're getting the sheds from, and really understand and really know and trust that they understand the animals that they have. And I think sky's the limit, man. The shed testing is amazing with ball pythons, man. Just what it can do now. just saves decades of pulling your hair out and frustration of did it, was it a het, was it not a het, so on and so forth. So I think that it's in its infancy, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a retic guy and you have a chance to send in some sheds from a snake that you know exactly what it is, man, you should, because it's going to change the world. If they could even, just a dream for a second and say they could somewhat predict the size of a snake based off the shed, like that changes everything, man. Nobody's lying about anything.
It changes everything, dude. Everything.
Yeah. How big's the snake gonna get? Well, I sent the shed out. It says it's gonna get 13 feet. All right, that's a little big. All right, good. Or I sent the shed out and it says it's a male and it's only gonna get 5.5 feet. Well, then awesome, dude. Let's do that.
And by having that type of technology, we'll get better at breeding smaller and smaller snakes, because we're going to know the ones. We're going to know the ones that are the higher percentage that we want to hold back and breed back to other higher percentage. And the more we keep doing that, the more we're going to be like, everyone's collections be like Eric Lee at one point. They're all tiny. You know what I mean?
Better. Yeah. What, like you said in the beginning of this, like, a ball python is the perfect size snake. Well, what if we could get them really close to being that size?
Yeah,
man, that would be awesome.
Right. But a bite from a 5 or 6 foot super dwarf retic it can still fuck you up, right? Like I mean,
it's gonna leave a mark, probably, maybe.
But we all know that. Okay, I will say shout out to Garrett Hartle for putting down that video years back, the corn on the cob trick, where, you get bit, you don't want to pull your hand away. Like that's my dad made that mistake years back and I saw what happens. And so, for instance, there are ways of going about letting a snake get off your hand or whatever, but with the smaller retic that's an adult, but on the smaller side, you still rather not pull your hand away from a bite, right? Like their teeth could still fuck you up at that point, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm one of those guys that I have that reflex that I jerk back no matter
what. Yeah,
no matter what. So I definitely pay the price for that, but it's a reflex, man. I can't stop it. You know, you could ask Garrett. I've thrown a couple of snakes because it's just unfortunate, but that's what happens. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting bit by a retic, there's definitely a difference between getting a retic bite from a 5 foot snake or a corn snake that's 5 foot. Like there's a significant difference.
Or a ball python.
I've been bit by some of those things where they'll bite you and then they'll just kind of tighten up that bite a little bit, push in a little bit, and it doesn't feel good. But it's not bad. It's not like I'd rather take a bite from a snake than a dog.
100%. 100%.
I'd rather take a snake bite over a rodent bite.
100%. I would do that. I would agree. Raccoon or a snake bite?
Snake
bite, yeah, for sure.
I'd take a 16-footer over a raccoon.
What about dude, I would take a snake bite over a bee sting.
Ooh.
Fuck that. Bee stings.
I don't know.
Bro, bee stings suck, bro.
They do. I'm not allergic, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
I got one on my toe one time. It was one of the worst mornings of my life, dude. It went away after fucking 20 minutes, but
of course the morning, right?
It was like right underneath my fucking toenail, bro. Like it was terrible. I guess I'm barefoot all the time by my house, and so I fucking stepped on it perfectly, I guess.
Good for you, grounding. I love it.
Fucking yeah, I gotta get down to earth, dude. No, but yeah, man, like I said, if this could get somehow to the point where there's no questions as much as it's happening now, and the testing, we get to the testing, game over, dude, in a good way. Like it's going to change everything.
And it should be that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist or a mathematician or any of those.
Hey, you're not?
I know. I play a good game, right?
For me, fuck.
You're welcome. But if they can do that, like, oh man, that's a dream come true, because it just simplifies everything. I don't know what it would cost. I would assume it would be comparable to what the ball python shed testing is, which is really affordable when you think about what it does.
Yeah.
So like, man, I would right out the egg, I'm testing everything.
Yeah. And that's a test people would be so willing to pay for, because it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And then again, like, I feel like it wouldn't even be the customer, it'd be you, because you're going to want to know first. You're going to want to know what that, it's like kind of finding out the het, if something's 100% het or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I hope that works. I hope that comes through with whatever company that's trying to do that. We'll see day by day.
Yeah, and I would name them, but I don't know if they want me to or not, so I don't want to necessarily say who that is. But
I just fucking respect my sponsors, so I just, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't step on toes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no.
shout to RGI. But stand by. I will say this. I want to pick your brain a little bit about your own projects here, Rob, because I know you love them all, but I know there's some things you're more excited about than others. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to some of the most exciting projects that it's on the tip of your tongue, especially going into next year, what are those? What are the ones that are fucking just, you can't stop thinking of?
Multi-layered locality snakes.
Multi-layered locality snakes. Tell me more.
Yes. So
outcross, like locality outcross type stuff.
Yeah. So like if you're taking, you had said Slayer, so let's use Slayer. Right?
Turnate or something.
Throw Slayer into Kalatoa, throw Turnate into Kalatoa, and then those offspring, put those together and have the Slayer, Kalatoa, Turnate.
Wow.
Oh man, I'm seeing some amazing things happening when you start to layer them.
Have you made that yet? What we just talked about, has that been made yet?
No. So whoever wants that idea, run with it.
That's fucking wild. Okay, but what multi-layered localities have you made or going to be making here soon?
Going to be making. It takes some time.
Right.
You know, I just got my collection down here last year. Everybody's acclimated. The females that I have that are of size and ready to breed are not necessarily mixes of those localities. I do have those certain localities. I am working with those localities. I'm working with some other breeders that have those localities, and they're making those things right now. My hat's in the ring. It's just a matter of time before I start producing them myself. But as of right now, I have not produced them. My plan was 2 years ago to come down here and just crush it, do the best job I could do for Kinova. And I'm continuing to do that, but at the same time starting my thing. So my thing's not fully on a go, if that makes sense. Right? Online. I'm not fully online.
Not fully launched yet. Like you're not completely launched into full island morph mode.
Yeah. So there's a couple of breeders that I'm working with that are working with those genetics. It's, definitely the eye that I have for it and what I'm seeing. I think it was your video, the first time you came to Reach Out Reptiles, where I said, I was looking at the Halmaheras and I said, what if you could make a golden child without golden child?
I do remember that.
I think it was your video.
Yeah, it was, and it puzzled me. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
I remember that. I did that. Go check out that vlog. I remember it was on my the Snake Trap Session Vlogs YouTube channel. But yeah, I remember.
You remember
that.
which one? No,
it was years back. I mean, it's you'll see me and Rob hugging each other. It's on the thumbnail. You'll see it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was winter time.
It was winter. Yeah, it was. That's when me and Matt Summers got stuck in the Pittsburgh airport for like fucking 16 hours because of snow. It's terrible.
Oh man,
slept on the floor like a hobo.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that now if you come visit me.
Yeah, no shit, huh? Georgia's beautiful. I love Georgia, man. It's beautiful over there.
I will never leave. You have to take me out of here in an urn or a casket, man.
So okay, again, so you mentioned Golden Child, right? But that's also something going to be implemented into the dwarf stuff. Is just other I'm sure you have mainland stuff happening currently, right? Because that's other recipe type ingredients that you want to go into the mix at some point with all the smaller stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you, I don't really like talking about some of the stuff until I produce it. But I'm working with a couple of mainlands, putting some genes into dwarf and super dwarf that aren't already in that. and trying to expand what our palette is. If you look at this locality thing from like a painter's perspective, I love super dwarfs. Everybody who knows me knows that, but super dwarfs are pretty bland. There's not a lot of color in them. Some of these dwarf localities have a lot of color. And as a painter, do you want to use 3 colors or do you want 23 colors? Well, give me all the colors I can. I want to play with it.
You don't want to be limited, period. You want a full palette of colors.
Give me the rainbow, man. I'm ready, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. And if you're working with a rainbow of different colors and a bunch of different morphs, it's impossible for someone to work on all of them. So I'm not going to try to. I'm just going to try to focus on a few that I think are really nice morphs and enhance them as best as I can and put projects out there for everybody else that wants to join in. Like I said, if you're a breeder and you're looking for longevity, well, you don't want to be producing 20, 30, 40, 50 plus egg clutches. You want to be producing 8, 10, 12, 15 egg clutches, right? Yeah. It gives you longevity. If you're looking at it that you're going to take a mainland morph and you're going to run it into 3 different dwarves and then into super dwarf, well, now you've extended the life of that project, right? And it's all about the longevity. This is a marathon, not a sprint, man. And if you start working on those projects now, and if the shed testing goes through, I mean, this could just be the perfect 1-2 punch, man.
So kind of going back to being accurate on percentages, what is somebody supposed to do, Rob? Like if somebody is more dedicated to the locality specific Python projects and the percentages to them is something they're starting after, and obviously they don't want to keep back the whole clutch, right? Like let's say, for instance, I have a 75% to a pure Calatoa, okay? Just for an example, right? I get 12 eggs. I want 3 of those at most, and I want to keep them. But then how do I label those without being a fucking fraud or not like misleading people? Like what's the best way to go about that?
I think we take the tools that we have. I'm currently on Morph Market. I've got several snakes on there. I have a lot more inventory than what's on there, but I'm a one-man show. My wife loves me to pieces more than probably what she should and helps me out as much as she can, but she's not a snake person. So it's a lot to deal with doing both things at the same time. But, I'm getting it out there. And to the question, though, you put it in there that what percent they are. And when somebody wants to purchase something, there's a communication there. Yeah. I think when that communication happens, if it's somebody who seems like they know what they're talking about, know what they're looking for, okay, ask me whatever question you want. I'm an open book. If it's somebody new, I'm telling them as much as I possibly can. One of the things that I do is with any purchase of any snake that I produce or that I sell, it's a free consultation, man. Let's sit down. Let's talk about your dreams and your hopes and what you want to do and how you want to accomplish it. And that's when those things come out. You say to them, hey, I don't know what you know about genetics. I don't know a lot, but my understanding is that this is how it works. It's not a 50-50 split. Never has been, never will be.
And, and I'm sure you could capitalize on this, Rob, but being that transparent, especially with your customer, only means they're going to come back and spend more money with you. And they're going to feel very comfortable because you took care of them. You're honest about things. And during no matter what dip of a market, you're going to have returning customer base. And that's what makes a lot of people right now in the ball python game surviving. They got return customers. They've been around for 20, 30 years, always taking care of people. So no matter who's doing what, they're going to them buying, they're getting snake cells. You know what I mean? So, and it goes the same with anything, like even with retics. Like I know firsthand how many people are standing behind you right now in the retic community. A lot. Like a lot of people are like, just as excited as I am that you're doing this, and willing to give you business and work with you, bro, because of the name you have. And that's why I feel like it's another this is a calling for you, like definitely, but that's because transparency and just being upfront and communicating, I feel like one of the things from the past, Rob, is like turn and burn, man, give me your money, fucking, yeah, I'll talk to you when you need help and not talking to you, that's just kind of, and then you're just used to that, and you go to the next one. I came in 2017. It was exactly like that. I had to really become friends with somebody to get advice, like good friends, you know, like talking over the phone. It wasn't through text messages on social media. Like I would only get the runaround, you know what I mean? And I think we've come a long ways since 2017, obviously, but yeah, man, just taking care of people, bro. It goes a long ways in this game. It really does.
Yeah. And, you know, like you're saying, for me, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Right. And you know me, so it's not a stretch, or it's not hard to believe, but the people that don't know me, I'm a very upfront, honest, I'll tell you how it is. I'm not trying to sugarcoat stuff, man.
Yeah.
I think the more honesty that's in the world in general, the better place it is. And I want to lead by example. And I just want to, you know, tell everybody this is my experience, my 30 some years of experience with these snakes. These are the things that I've noticed. This is my opinion on it. It is not scientific. It never has been scientific. And hopefully we're getting to that point where it could be scientific in the future. But when it's not black and white, you have to trust who you're talking to. And based on what I've seen and all the breedings that I've done, I've bred a couple of snakes, so I've seen it once or twice. I have some experience working with some large collections. I have some experience working with some small collections. And, you know, my experience leads me to believe certain things. And those are the things that I just want to put out there. I'm not saying that one person is saying wrong. I'm not saying that one person is saying all right. I'm just saying, for me, my experience, this is what I believe.
Yeah. And honestly, experience is going to be your best teacher. Like, because there's no like, well, I heard this. No, you fucking saw it. You saw it with your own eyes. Like, there's no fucking, well, so-and-so in Alaska did this and, you know, it worked for him. Well, okay, but what makes this fucking game what it is, you find out what works for you. And a lot of the things that Rob may say that worked for him might not work for you. But that's why you talk about it first and foremost, and you find out. And yeah, man, like I just feel like yeah, obviously getting dialed in is something that comes with time also, right, Rob? Like, there's so many levels to this, it's ridiculous. You know, there's the entry pet keeping fucking stage of things, and then there's like, all right, I got a room to dedicate to this shit. And then, you know, and that's kind of where we're more familiar to that side of things, the whole room dedicated to these things. And like it's hard to relate the amount of stress that comes from having a room dedicated to them versus just a pet, you know, like it's a huge, but people should realize the scale jump with that. Like it's a lot, like, especially when you're raising them up, which I always feel like raise all these babies, man. If you can raise them as little babies and enjoy them but just know that they grow. Okay. And so, and have that plan in set when they do grow and they need upgrades and shit like that. But, yeah, man, I love her ticks. Beautiful snake.
It's in me. It's in me forever, man.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Rob. You know, I want to know really what the transition was like going from Reach Out Reptiles, because obviously Reach Out Reptiles was snakes you adore. Not that you don't adore ball pythons, but that, you know, what you fucking loved working with was at Garrett's place. And so you got to work with a lot of those animals fucking that you were obsessed with. But what was that transition going to working like that to just now working with stuff you don't keep at all, and it's all in your face every fucking day and whatnot? Like, what was that transition like, you know?
So I'd say deep down, I'm a reptile guy. You know, if I didn't have any self-control, my whole house, and no self-control and no wife, my whole house would be full with all kinds of species, man. You know, it's just in me. My first snake was a ball python. I did have a couple of ball pythons when I moved down here. But that retic, man, I can't get away from it. It owns me. I'm grateful for Garrett. You know, I don't think anybody would know who I am if it wasn't for Garrett and Reach Out Reptiles. I feel like they put Rob Rausch on the map. I feel that it was a good partnership and it lasted as long as it could. And we did a lot of great things together. I felt like it was the time for me and my wife to move down south. We had always talked about it. We'd always wanted to do it. I was shown the job opportunity here and just thought, man, what a dream job that would be. Work for the best guy possible, still doing reptiles and living in the South, man. I hate the snow, brother. I hate the cold.
I don't blame you, dude. I can't do cold. Like, I mean, I hate too hot. I'm from San Diego, dude. I got it perfect. I don't do good too hot. I don't do good too cold. I need it rocking right there, low 70s all the time. You know what I mean? But I feel you, man. Like that, and that cold, that East Coast cold, that PA cold, oh, that stings. That shit fucking
runs right through you.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't blame you though, man. So I mean, so in a sense, it was an easy transition for you then. Like you were happy to fucking be in Georgia, new scenery, because you said you're a reptile lover. So obviously you still had your own collection, and I'm sure it was refreshing, huh? Like seeing, I guess, some of the world's most beautiful ball pythons, and the special private project room. You were in there a lot. That was like your little baby too.
I definitely enjoy that room. There's a couple of super dwarves there that definitely catch my eye.
Mine's in there. One of mine was in there. Yeah, fuck yeah. Hey, okay, and that one's staying pretty good size, huh? For a 50%.
Yeah, she's primed and ready to go this year.
That's epic. Are you gonna breed her? What are you gonna do?
I've been talking to Justin about it. I would like to. Yeah,
and I think I have 50% ownership on that snake. I'm just kidding. No.
Let me look at my notes here. Hold on. Yeah,
that's a marble. That's a marble het anery, dude. That's gonna be that. That's a fucking.
Is that what she is?
She's a marble het anery.
I didn't know she was a het anery. I knew she was marble, but
I guess she would be pos. There was anery in the clutch, but it was het to het. It was het to het. So 66. I guess she'd be 50% or pos het anery. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's fucking cool. Yeah, and again, like I think that was special that you had, a little bit of mix of it all. You had that room to just kind of drool over and work in, and it was
front door,
right.
Man.
Dude. Fucking goddamn.
Yeah,
epic.
Those things are amazing.
Is there anything topic wise you want to cover tonight, Rob? I want to kind of give the floor to you. If there's anything that you want to mention about the future or what's to come, anything people should know, I just want to make sure we covered everything tonight.
Yeah, I just want to stress, if you're in the retic community, you like what I do, please follow me. The more followers I get, the more content I'm going to put out there. The more content I put out there, the better we all get. Check out my website, follow me on Instagram. I did one live, like I said. I plan on doing a lot more. I want to do a live where I show you how I'm breeding 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever amount of snakes. I don't want to bottleneck it and say it's one snake. I'm just going to show you this one. I'm going to show you all my snakes. Show you how I palpate, show you how I do the things I do, all the different systems that I put in place to be able to efficiently track these things. Until Clutch starts doing it for retics, I got to do it manually. So wink, wink. Let's work on that.
I'm dying for Clutch to start doing chondros, man. Once fucking Clutch gets on chondros, I will get a bunch of us chondro geeks over there, 110%. I'll be all over that shit. Because
Clutch is such an amazing software, dude. If you don't have it, man, you're missing out.
Right. But then if you have a species that they don't have, I get it. But we'll see though. I think I do mention to Justin, like, bro, let's it's not just ball pythons. Come on, help us out.
I've definitely had my little hints out there too, like I just did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just I want to get it out there. I put as much information out there as possible, and help as many people as possible. I feel like I have a lifetime of knowledge and experience that could help a lot of different people in the industry or anybody who's starting out. And that's where my passion is, I love the snakes. I love the species. I'm always going to work with it, but man, I just like people, man. I want to put as much good information out there as possible.
Are you going to start a Patreon by chance?
You're not the first person to ask me that. I think that's something that's going to come. You know, I want to kind of make that nice, neat little snowball and just give it a little nudge, right? Right now, I'm just packing that snowball. I think that Patreon is definitely an avenue I want to explore more. I need to get into YouTube. I need to get into that a little bit more too. And you know, those things are going to come. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, it's just like fucking jumping into cold water, dude. Just got to do it. Say fuck it and see what happens.
Cold plunge, brother. Love doing the cold plunge.
Hey, and you got me, dude. And you got Justin. You got plenty of people who would help you out, like on how to get the YouTube started. So if you have any questions, I'm your boy. You know, I'll help you out. So
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
But I will also say I would highly recommend you do Patreon because you're offering, again, something that not a lot of people have to offer in the hobby, and that's 100% fucking experience, honesty for a species that deserves that, you know. And if I were to get back into the Super Dwarf game, I would join your Patreon. Fuck 110%, 100,000%, because I want to make sure I don't make the same mistakes. And so I do know what makes Patreon very valuable in this hobby is when there is valuable information that will help people from making mistakes. Okay. And so I feel like your Patreon would be good for that. So
I appreciate that, man. I really do. And I hope that it grows to that point. You know, like I said, my main goal is just to help people, man. There's so many people out there that I think would do a lot better if they just had a little bit better information, or if they hone their craft a little bit. Done a few consultations in person already. And as I do more, I feel like I just add more and more information to it. You know, I don't want to say like I know so much I forgot more than what people know. That's not me, but sometimes I'm not thinking, oh, you don't know how to do that. Let's figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you are thinking of doing a consultation or something, just do a little bit of prep before you give me a call. Write down a couple of things that you really want to know, and we'll start from there. You know, the best way to do it is a conversation. Start with a conversation and move on. See what we can do.
I gotta say this, man. Some of the I've seen a lot of people come and go throughout my Patreon, and I'd say some of the people I've seen do the best are ones I've called who had like questions already ready to go. Like they fucking like they got me on a phone call and they knew what the fuck they wanted to ask me. And I know I'm not the only one they do that to. I guarantee they're going around and I feel like that's a fucking smart thing to do, man. Like if you have access to these people who are doing well in the hobby, that's who I got my information from. You know, I was able to befriend so many people who were successful in the hobby who I just was able to soak up information like a sponge. I was I'm still like that. You know, I'm still absorbing information everywhere I can, you know, because this is an always evolving hobby like this. You're always going to continue to get better and better. 30 years plus this guy in the game, and you're still looking to get better, Rob. Like it's not over for you. And I think that's life in general. Like always trying to get better. You know, like I don't ever want to stop. Like I'm almost addicted to it now. Like I just want to get better. Like, and I know it's a day thing. It's a 1% per day thing, you know,
Yep. Just a little bit better than yesterday, brother. That's it.
And you can't help but you're going to have days where things go backwards a little bit. Like you will have something in life, you know, God forbid injuries or something where it throws you off your routine, and then you got to get back on the horse again. And so you got to get ready for life, man, because you never know how life is going to hit you, dude. You could be doing everything fucking right, and then all of a sudden fucking bam, like what was that, you know? So
yeah,
dude, it's a trip. That's what's also, it's like, man, I've seen some people where like they got on the right track and then fucking something crazy in life happens to them, and that's just life. Like that's dude, it happened to you, happened to me, our loved ones. It's another thing. It's I try not to dwell on that, but goddamn, like it keeps me on my toes. Like you just never know. Like you never know what's out there for you, you know?
Yeah. My new motto right now is do the hard. That's what you're waiting for. Do the hard.
That's
you
it.
know you're supposed to, just do it.
Yeah, you're doing shit you don't want to do for sure.
You'll be a better person if you do.
My wrap-up question for you, Rob. You know, obviously with that everything being said, if there was somebody out there that was kind of like me, who had a bad taste in their mouth with the Retic game and maybe considered coming back, what's your advice? Like, what's your advice for anyone out there who is maybe considering getting a Retic again, but isn't too sure about the market, doesn't know about laws, and just is worried. You know what I mean? Like, what do you say to that?
Reach out to me. Let's start a conversation, man. And I prefer more of a talk rather than a text or an email, just because I'm not the best at texting. Sometimes things can be misunderstood through text.
Oh my God, I'm terrible with that. I'll be like, what the fuck this guy just say to me? And I'm like, oh, he didn't mean it like that. My bad.
Yeah, the one I'm struggling with now is I like to tell people good luck. And my wife tells me, that can come off like you're a prick.
It's like, go fuck kick rocks. Like, freaking, I tell people God bless. And they're like, what? What'd I do?
Like, good luck with that.
Yeah, God bless.
Sounds kind of like a prick. Like, okay. But yeah, reach out to me, man. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I can always set aside 10, 15, 20 minutes for somebody, especially somebody who's questioning whether they should get in it. Like, that's the best time to call me and get a hold of me, because I'll help you figure that out. No sense in wasting time and doing research if it's not for you. I have enough experience. I can tell you what it's like,
Yeah. And again, I got to tell you, man, there's anytime I had a question about whatever, as soon as I was able to get somebody on the phone, it clears up everything. Like, I got to tell you, talking one conversation could clear up so much, like, I don't know type shit in your head, and for you to actually, like, I prefer the old school method as well, even though texting is more of the popular route. I just like, because again, dude, like I read a lot quicker than I process, I think, or wait, hold on. There's that. I don't know. I just read a lot that I'm like, I didn't read it right. Like, I'm like, holy shit, that's not what he said. So I'm definitely like, oh man, if you really want any of my kind of attention, over the phone's best for sure, just because there's no misunderstandings, and it's and also like you get a good vibe of the person, like you kind of feel them out, and so
for me, I have dyslexia and mixed dominancy.
Wow,
those two things just mess with me constantly, man. If you don't know what they are, dyslexia is reading and writing backwards, just layman's descriptions, right? And mixed dominancy is when the right side of the brain wants to do what the left does and the left wants to do what the right does.
Damn.
So it's just a big old mess in there. And for me to text stuff out, I'd rather just call, man. Let's just have a talk.
100%. Would you say, are you more active on Instagram or Facebook, or both? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook. I've said it a couple times. Go to the website, islandmorphs.com. Check me out. And, I don't know if my number's on there or not, but if you message me and be like, hey, let's have a talk, I'll give you the number. It's a new number. Otherwise, I would tell you what it is right now, which is horrible, right?
You don't know your new number, Rob?
Yeah, I barely know my normal number.
But then again, like, getting a new number at our age isn't common. Like, we pretty much got the number we got. You know what I mean? So it might take a little bit, but you'll learn it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get it down. It's on the website. I'm pretty sure it says it on the website. But yeah, like I said, message me any one of those ways. We'll make it happen. Last
thing I want to ask you, vending. Like, once you get rolling and rocking and doing your thing, are you going to be making appearances at shows wherever you can? Is vending going to be a huge part of what your business model is going to be about?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing the Nashville, Tennessee show in 2 weeks.
Nice.
I'll be doing that. I currently did Bob Vu's show, and I'm hoping to do the one in January for Bob. His show is amazing.
Sick.
Oh man, he's one of those guys where he's vended enough shows that he knows what to do to try to make it easier for the vendors. Exactly. And he does it, crushes it all the time. Him and that staff that he has, I can't say enough good things about him, man. They really make it easy to do a show and make you want to come back. So I want to do that. I really need to do it, but I want to throw my hat in the ring for Tinley. I want to see if I can get a table there. I know that there's a pretty substantial waiting list for that.
Not with what you have, you're good, bro. The ball python people are fucked. You're good. I'll tell. If I were to text Bob and be like, yo, I got this homie Rob. He has super dwarf shit or fucking sick cool. He would be like, cool, bring him in. I'm telling you, like they want anything other than ball pythons right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's good news then. Maybe you'll see me at March Tinley. Huh?
Get you in. I'll get you in for sure. That means a ball python guy's getting a boot. I'm sorry.
I hope it's nobody I know.
Don't shoot the messenger.
MJ did it. I didn't.
Ah, fuck, whatever. I get paid for enough. Bring it on. No, man. And also, I know it's quite a trip to the West Coast, but if you could come to a reptile super show someday, that would be epic.
Yeah, so I've actually been talking. Eric Lee's one of the breeders that I work with. So
Yeah,
I've been
that's
talking to him about maybe I would ship my snakes or ship the snakes that I'm going to sell to him and then just drive out or fly out. And
Fly
then,
into San Diego. I pick you up. We go eat burritos.
I'm going to In-N-Out. My first meal's got to be In-N-Out.
We go to In-N-Out, and then we link it with Eric, and we go to the show. That's a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm in. I'll sign up for that right now.
I'm looking forward to bringing you back on and getting updates on everything. I'm just happy for you, bro. Like I said, it's cool to see where we met, where you're at now, and where the future, like what it has in store for you. And I think it's nothing but good things, bro. I really do.
I appreciate you, man. You know, I love you like a brother.
Love you too, man.
For you, and I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out here and tell the millions of people that watch your show. I'm throwing my hat in the ring.
No, honestly, I'm looking forward to have you back. I really do, man. So for now, guys, please, Island Morphs is Island_Morphs, right? On IG? Or is it Island?
Yeah, someone had Island Morphs, so I had to do the underscore, I think, or something like that.
I want to make sure I have the right link in the description below, which I do. Okay, so guys, Island_Morphs on IG, and also check them out on Facebook. Rob, can't wait to have you back. But guys, do me a favor, give it up. It's a wrap for Rob, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Thank you, Rob. Have a good night. We'll talk soon, man.
All right, love you.
Peace. Love you, buddy. Good episode. Seriously, one of the nicest guys. I think the retic world is lucky to have somebody like Rob, especially with what he has in store, like what his plans are, man. So tap in for sure. Island Morphs on IG. And again, looking forward to having Rob back on the show someday. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure before you leave, you hit that subscribe button. And if you hit that notification bell, select all, you'll be reminded of every episode released out of the network 7 days a week. I do want to remind you guys, I have a vlog being dropped every Friday on the Morph Market YouTube channel. So if you happen to not attend Tinley and you wanted to see what the vibe was like at Tinley, I drop a walkthrough vlog on the Morph Market YouTube channel tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so go subscribe to that channel, please. Shout out to Morph Market, the best in the business. They really are killing it. Hey, happy 10-year birthday to Morph Market as well. God, man, we are so lucky to have somebody like Morph Market, man. I got to tell you right now, changing lives left and right. And again, what an amazing episode. Thank you so much, Rob, for taking the time, coming by the trap tonight on a beautiful Thursday night. And guys, please, if this is your first time tapping in, hit that like button. And if you want exclusive content, come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Click the first link in the description below. Join the Discord. Join the awesome Instagram group chat. And check out all the amazing perks when joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. Check out my sponsors. All the link in the description below. Have a good night. I'll catch you here Monday for New Breed on the Block. And I'm out. One of the biggest growths we have in the reptile industry today are the rare species of reptiles that aren't worked with. That's right. That's why I went ahead and partnered up again with Brian Susan over at Sundown Reptiles. Brian works with species such as kahua geckos, gargoyle geckos, all species of tree monitors. He works with Abronia and many other cool species geckos that you can check out all on his website. Head over to sundownreptiles.com, see what he has available. Brian's one of the best doing it in the reptile industry today. He's been on the show multiple times, so make sure you check out all of Brian Susan's episodes on Trap Talk Reptile Network. But more importantly, for the highest quality of captive bred reptiles, make sure you head over to sundownreptiles.com and make sure you give him a follow on Instagram. Thank you again, Brian Susan over at Sundown Reptiles. One of the things I love about being a part of the reptile industry is all the learning, okay? Learning can be fun, and I can prove that to you. Thank you so much to today's sponsor, Gary Scavino over at GS Reptiles. I highly recommend you head over to his YouTube channel, follow all this man's content when it comes to learning about rare species of snakes you could be keeping in the hobby, and also just finding out how easy a lot of these rare species of snakes are to keep in general. So thank you so much, Gary Scavino of GS Reptiles. Again, head over to his YouTube channel. Also head over to his Instagram to be on top of all of his current work and be ready for a big year over at GS Reptiles. Thank you so much, Gary, for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Cheers.